Hello my friends and welcome back. It's Wednesday, my dudes. You know what it means. It's the spine of the week, it's the hump day, and not only. It's my birthday, 24th of April. Today is my birthday. I am 40 years old. I'm kidding you, I'm 28. I'm 28, I'm quite young. I know many of you thought I'm older, but I was born in 1996, so I was born in free Estonia, only 2 years before the Russian forces were removed from Estonia, 1994. They were removed. So 2 years my country had been free when I was born as a little baby. But yes, my birthday today, so happy birthday to me and happy hump day to you. My friends, I have a first video to you to lift your moods up. Wherever you're coming from, you're going to work or you're coming from work, you need this happy emotion, this little giggle in your life. This is St. Petersburg, Russia. One of the biggest cities, Moscow and St. Petersburg, meaning life quality is the best in Moscow and St. Petersburg. So this is already one of the best places to live in Russia. And also, St. Petersburg is like a university city, known to be more liberal than Moscow. Here we have pensioners in St. Petersburg next to some dumpsters. And what are they doing? They are going to these dumpsters and they are trying to get expired food. Restaurants and stores are throwing away expired food and pensioners are coming here like seagulls trying to get the expired food. And what happens now? They are fighting over it. They're like these corpse-eating seagulls fighting over scraps of food. They're already living in one of Russia's wealthiest cities. And still they're fighting over scraps of food. Look at this. These people are 70, 60, perhaps some of them 80 years old. And still they are fighting like little kids. That is Russia. That is Russian world for you. First of all, I'm impressed. I mean, if you're 70 and you can still fight, you gotta be in good shape. Can you hear it? You know what's weird about this? Because these pensioners, Putin is extremely popular on pensioners because he focuses on them more than the youth. The youth doesn't really like Putin. Pensioners always elect Putin. But they now have to get scraps because their pensions are so small, because life quality has not risen in Russia, because Putin focuses all of the money made to military. Now these very pensioners who are loving Putin and voting for Putin have to fight for scraps because of Putin. They don't know this, they don't acknowledge this because they live under the rock and they chose not to be awake about this. But it's so weird. The very same reason this here is happening is what they vote for. So this is how they want to live. They have voted for this. I would almost say in a democratic manner, because they actually do vote for Putin. My friends, look at that face. Look at that beautiful face. This is Russian Deputy Defense Minister Timur Ivanov. Or it was, at least. This is the second most important person in the Russian Ministry of Defense after Sergei Shoigu, the defense minister. The deputy defense minister, right? He was arrested on charges of bribery, charges of corruption. What, you might say? Somebody gets arrested in Russia for charges of corruption? Yes. In Russia, the legal system and charges against corruption are used to purge, yes, you heard correctly, purge the military leadership, get rid of people who cross some invisible line, because Putin has created a system where everybody who is in any kind of position steals and takes bribes. That's how the system works. Now, if somebody is arrested on charges of bribery, then he crossed some other invisible line that Putin has set for his loyalists. I guess that Timur somehow listened to YMCA or something, what's forbidden in Russia. Whatever line he crossed, the actual reason for his arrest is not bribery, because everybody takes bribes in Russia. Anyway, the deputy defense minister, so high up in the Russian Ministry of Defense, is arrested and faces up to 15 years in prison. Now, my friends, I'll bring you a marvel of engineering from Russian frontline. This is a Russian assault motorbike. If you see in the recent news, you know that Russians are more and more using Chinese golf carts. I'm not kidding you, they're golf cars and also motorbikes. They're using less armor and more infantry and more these cheaper ways and faster, more agile ways to get to the Ukrainian defensive lines. One of these is a motorbike. And the issue with the motorbikes is that they're so easy to destroy, right? With kamikaze drones, which are faster than motorbikes. So what do? They install this kamikaze drone net. So you're driving the bike or riding the bike and you have this little square net at the back and you're like, oh, I'm safe now. And the drone comes in the back and explodes on the net. I mean, the guy will still be knocked out cold. What the hell? Honestly, I'm no engineer, but I think this is useless. Useless in every way. My friends, you might ask, why am I in such a good mood today? Well, it's hump day, it's my birthday, but it's also the first day after the United States Senate passed the aid. The Congress passed the aid and now Senate has also passed it. Now, only thing it needs more is Joe Biden's signature, and it will definitely get that. So basically the aid of 95 billion to Taiwan, Israel and Ukraine has been passed by the United States legislative system. I'm so glad about that. We have all been waiting for that for half a year. Ukrainians have been fighting for the last drop of blood. I mean, the front lines are holding, but at what cost? And now finally, the United States aid starts to trickle in. Now, it might take some time. There are different opinions and different military bloggers of how fast it will be. But I will say it right here. I estimate the arrival of macro aid, the most aid that we can see having a visual presence on the front, making a difference on the front, I would say it will take 3 to 4 weeks. Now, yes, first things will arrive within days, but they will not make a difference yet. That process you cannot speed up. Also, what will be sent is 300-kilometer range ATACMS. What is it, like 140 miles, 150 miles, something like that range. So previously the range was 80 miles or 165 kilometers. Now the range of the ATACMS missiles will be 300 kilometers, putting all of Crimea and all of Russian-occupied Ukraine and even more under the range of this very powerful and accurate missile system. This is a big, big deal, and Russians, they have been suffering under HIMARS for 2.5 years. They know enough to be afraid of this. This is a big breakthrough. And my friends, there's even more reasons to be very happy today. Because it doesn't end with the United States. There's another united country that has passed a huge amount of aid. That's United Kingdom. The UK just announced a new £500 million or $620 million aid packet for Ukraine. The single largest announced by the country. The packet will include Storm Shadow cruise missiles, 1,600 strike and air defense missiles, and more than 400 vehicles. We have Storm Shadows here, we have defense missiles, strike missiles, we have armored vehicles. I mean, this is the biggest UK military packet to Ukraine, and it comes at a very vital time. Something happened. The floodgates are now open. In the next 2 months, F-16s will be delivered. Now it's the US aid packet and the UK aid packet. I mean, Ukraine held the defensive line, but now they will get so much aid that we're not only talking about holding it, I have my hopes up. Ukraine can retake the initiative and force Russians to retreat. United Kingdom's Prime Minister also announced in a speech that the United Kingdom will be, the defense industry at least of the UK, will be switched to war mode, and he announced that the goal for the defense expenditure is to reach 2.5% by 2030. Now, this is, it sounds like a positive news, but in my eyes, I mean, Estonia is at 3%, Poland is at 4%, and UK has plans to get to 2.5 by 2030. In my eyes, yes, thank you UK for such a huge aid packet, but if you use the words war mode and defense industry, then 2.5% of GDP military spending in 6 years, I mean, It's not enough. I'm sorry. It's not enough. By next year, 3%. NATO standard should be 3%, not 2%. 3%, and by next year, and every NATO country has to do that. And I do apologize if I sound very radical, but I live in Estonia. If we don't do that, we will die. That's how simple and robust it is. So 3%, every NATO country. My friends, Ukrainian drones once again attacked Russian oil refining capabilities. Oil refineries, actually. The Russian Voronezh region, that oil refinery and fuel silos were attacked, and the fires are magnificent. I'm not sure if I can show them, but they're just beautiful, big. It's a huge, magnificent, beautiful kaboom that went on there. A fire broke out at a refinery in Voronezh after a drone attack. At the same time, regional governor Kyiv reports that air defense forces shot down 4 drones. Yeah, they shot them down with their oil refinery. That's how they do it. In Smolensk region, the local governor says fires broke out at a fuel and energy facilities in 2 districts after a drone attack. According to the locals, an oil depot is on fire, but the extent of damage is unknown at this time. And last night, that's not it, by the way, there's more. Ukraine is like drones here, drones there, drones everywhere. I guess it's for my birthday. Thank you, Ukrainians. Last night, drones also attacked the Lipetsk tractor plant. Authorities in Lipetsk say that drones were shot down, although locals report multiple explosions in the city's industrial zone. The extent of the damage is unknown. Lipetsk tractor plant has been part of the tractor plant's machine building concern since 2004 and produces, among other things, chassis for military vehicles. They also repair military armored personnel carriers. So Ukraine attacked oil refineries, armored personnel carrier factories, everything. It's beautiful. They have the capability, and these drones are homegrown, or Ukraine produced, I should say. My friends, here is a video which I cannot show you, but the links are all in the description below. You can go and see them yourselves. But in this video, we can see 3 S-400s, 400 launchers on a field with a radar. S-400 is the newest Russian anti-air defense system, and like Patriot, it also has an export price of 1 billion, around that. You can get it for cheaper or more expensive depending on what you buy with it, how much missiles and how many radar systems. Most expensive is the radar. But in this video we can see that it is being knocked out cold by Ukrainian HIMARS. It's beautiful. You make a one kaboom, and $1 billion is bursting up in flames. In my previous video, we talked about why are air defense systems so expensive. Patriot battery costs 1 billion. S-400, although many times less powerful and less capable than Patriot, still costs 1 billion. They're insanely expensive and very, very, very slow to produce. So taking these out, there cannot be any more high-value target. This is the target. Good job. And now, my friends, a short analysis by NAFO fella from Finland, Joni Askola. He is bringing us information today that Ukraine is again preparing for mobilization. The law went through the Rada and Zelensky will sign it, so there will be a mobilization. They will mobilize many hundreds of thousands of troops. But what they now changed yesterday is that all of the Ukrainian young men who are abroad, and there are many hundreds of thousands, if not over 1 million, mobilization aged men, all of the consulate and embassy support and paperwork and diplomatic services for these men will be stopped for the time of mobilization, because Ukrainian government and military expect these men still to be eligible for mobilization and return to Ukraine and fight for the nation. So they cannot get papers, driver license. You need a lot of stuff to emigrate abroad. You need a lot of stuff from your home country. You cannot just go like that. So if these services will be stopped, this will kind of force a lot of young Ukrainian men. If I say young, I don't mean 16 like the Russian information war. I mean 25 and older. That's the mobilization age. So all of these men who are abroad, it will kind of force their hand to join the mobilization and fight for their nation. That's the Ukrainian way to bring back their men and win this war. And I am all for it. Because if Russia attacks Estonia, I have to go. If Russia attacks Finland, Joni Askola, the guy who wrote this, he will have to go. So the Ukrainian men who are abroad now, they will have to go. And that's Ukrainian government is doing all they can to mobilize hundreds of thousands of troops, although they're still not tapping into 18 to 25-year-olds. Right now, the age, I will say it again because Russian information war is quite effective on that, 25 and older is the mobilization age. No man under that will be forcefully mobilized. My friends, and now in my birthday I will butcher Buy Me a Coffee members. These are monthly members who support any kind of tiers you choose. I will still butcher your name, and today I'm even more glad to do that because it's hump day and my birthday. Alex Mamos, Ian Robin McGregor Pennington, H. Pennington, Jerry Rogers, Andres Cordero, Don Case Ho, Ilmari Suominen, Kate Kailion, Martin Halma. Thank you to these monthly members. I'll say that again. If you want to support my channel and want your name to be butchered to oblivion, become a monthly member of Buy Me a Coffee. Links in the description below. But now, my friends, I'll introduce you to REHIstore.com and ArtursArmy.com, my new platform where we'll be funneling aid to Ukraine, and you can do it, my friends. You've seen me deliver so much aid. Everything you buy or donate through that platform will reach Ukraine, and I'll be filming it for you. Until my next video, my friends, Slava Ukraini, and bye-bye. My friends, we at the REHI team have taken the next huge step in Ukraine aid operations. The operation is public at rehiartur.com. I'll walk you through it. On rehiartur.com, you have two options. By clicking on REHI Store, you can discover a whole new clothing brand called REHI, and you can see the page on the screen and in the description below. There are two collections, REHI and Ukraine Classics. I wanted to give you a way to show your mindset through the designs you wear, and thus REHI was born. You can show your support for the freedom of the Ukrainian nation by wearing the most iconic designs connected to the Ukrainian fight for independence. For example, with love from Ukraine or in HIMARS we trust. If you wish to go more conservative, then REHI collection is for you. The REHI brand stands for what I stand for, the freedom of one's nation to determine their own fate. By the way, you can even surprise your companion with a gift card for a present. Okay, that was scary, starting my first clothing brand. But that's not all. On rehiartur.com, we can click on Artur's Army to go to artursarmy.com. Whole new Ukraine aid platform. You can see that Artur's Army has delivered close to $500,000 worth of equipment to Ukraine. And if you scroll down, you can see 3 operations to contribute to: drones, vehicles, and humanitarian aid for those who wish to help Ukrainian orphans. All delivered drones and vehicles show up if you scroll down even more. As you can see, Ukrainian victory loading is in progress. You can click on read more to any of the 3 missions to find out more information about the specifics and past successes. My friends, I'll go through the checkout with you. For example, let's pick drones and let's click donate. It guides us to this really cool checkout page. Contribution for the purpose. You can choose multiple categories. The summary will be shown down below. For example, one cheap kamikaze drone costs 1,000 USD. So if you click 1,000, it's 1 tank destroyed. If you click 500, it's 0.5 tanks destroyed. And if you play around with this one right here, you get the exact number of tanks destroyed. We're talking about Russian tanks demilitarized, of course. This is the most cost-efficient and fastest way to knock the occupiers out cold. Now, if you're finished with drones and you want to add something more to your cart, click vehicles, and one vehicle costs 15,000 USD, so you can choose your own amount or play around with this one here to choose a smaller amount, and you can see it translates immediately. You can fill out your entire cart like that. Or humanitarian aid, we will be delivering laptops to Ukrainian orphans so they can continue learning and their education path. If you have chosen everything, you can do the checkout by PayPal or credit card, which is Stripe, and boom, that's how easy it is. I will be creating footage, images and videos. I'll be putting all of the convoys on my YouTube channel, on my Buy Me a Coffee page, on everywhere. You can see that your money is put in perfect use in the most efficient and fastest way possible. Your skills and expertise can be used for Ukrainian victory, so join Artur's army. For that, there is a form to fill out, and that's it. We will be in touch when we have a mission for you. My friends, together we will bring Ukraine to victory. Slava Ukraini!